affordably, all at a fraction of the cost of traditional replacement. We are a local company committed to honest work and lasting results. From sidewalks to patios to filling sinkholes, we do it right. Don't wait for the problem to get worse. For more or to schedule your free inspection, visit raiseditright.com. Big news from ASC Outdoor Power in Bowden. The all-new Bravo program is here, giving back to the heroes who serve our communities every day. If you're military, a veteran, first responder, or medical professional, you can save up to 24% off all Bobcat equipment. We're talking mowers, tractors, UTVs, and mini track loaders. Plus, take advantage of low APR financing and no dealer financing fees. Stop by and see us in Bowden. ASC Outdoor Power. Family values, hometown service. Online at ascoutdoorpower.com.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk, 1330, FM 106.3.
And good morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. Today is Wednesday, August 19th. I'm your host, Josh Engel. Today we are joined, let me turn my mic down a little bit. Today we are joined by Carroll County Sheriff Terry Langley and Shane Davis, President of West Georgia First Responders, to discuss an important new chapter for local public safety. West Georgia First Responders is merging into the new Carroll County Sheriff's Foundation, continuing its commitment to serving first responders throughout our community while opening the door to new funding through Georgia's Less Crime Act, short for the Law Enforcement Strategic Support Act. This legislation allows Georgia taxpayers to receive a dollar-for-dollar state income tax credit for pre-approved contributions to a qualified law enforcement foundation. In practical terms, individuals and businesses can direct a portion of the state income taxes they would otherwise pay towards supporting local law enforcement, including training, equipment, technology, and community programs. Today we'll learn more about this merger, what it means for Carroll County first responders, and how local residents and businesses can participate. A quick reminder, this morning's episode with Shane Davis and Sheriff Terry Langley is currently being live streamed on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page, as well as our Grad Communications YouTube. So if you have any questions or comments for our guests, please don't be shy. Hop in the chat, and I'd be happy to read them out to these fine gentlemen right here. Good morning, gents.
Good morning.
Good morning, buddy.
Thank y'all so much for waking up bright and early and coming on today to talk about the Carroll County Sheriff's Foundation. If we could, why don't we start with a little bit of I kind of gave you guys a bit of a rundown, a bit of an introduction, but perhaps what we could do is, Shane, if you could, maybe fill folks in a bit on your history with West Georgia First Responders.
Okay. So over the last 3 years, and I was thinking the other day, it's almost been 3 years since the first time I was on the show. Isn't that
Unbelievable.
Crazy?
Time flies.
Right. So I started that up basically just to assist first responders in the area. All right. So I kind of really didn't know what I was doing. Just kind of jumped into it and kind of felt my way and ended up starting this thing. And it's been awesome over the last 3 years. Been able to help a lot of people. Basically, if any first responder, and we added linemen into it too, which was a first. There's none other like that.
No, linemen, dispatch, EMS, fire, military, police.
Yeah, anything really associated with first responders too, it seemed like. So if their injury, illness, fatality, anything comes up, retired or current, then they can reach back to us to get assistance. And we've been able to do that for 3 years. Okay, so
a busy 3 years. I mean, could you provide sort of rough estimates about how many individuals you've assisted, or maybe even just a kind of testament to how much money's gone out?
Well, I can tell you at least the people we've helped close to 100 probably, if I had to guess. Yeah, and we were kind of specialized during that too, even like during fatalities, like when Taylor Bristow got shot. We became the official giving platform for the sheriff's office, which is really kind of what I really wanted to do. I thought that was good. I think every platform should have their own giving like agencies should have their own giving platform, which kind of leads into what we're doing right now, the Sheriff's Office Foundation. And about 12 months ago, just how we got moved into this, Craig Dotson approached me and was like, hey, have you heard about the Law Enforcement Foundation's qualifying? I was like, no. He said, can you check on it? He said, can you see if you could become one, being a 501c3.
And here you had been, just at every cent that came in, you're putting that money right back out.
Right back out, 100%, right?
To help, even down to like getting ACs for
for the canines.
Yeah, for the canines and whatnot. Right. When you say first responders, that includes the animals too.
Everybody. Exactly, yeah.
So here you are, thousands of dollars have been going out to help people, and then here this new opportunity is presented.
Right.
To you.
So I checked into it, and an existing 501c3 can't be a qualified law enforcement foundation. Okay. But a qualified law enforcement foundation, like I said, is a 501c3. It's just a specialized where, they can take it for that purpose. So I got back and I told him, I said, well, I can't be a qualified law enforcement. Y'all have to be that agency. So, Craig, great guy, he was like, well, I don't, first he was like, well, I don't want to step on your toes or nothing and start nothing. So being a loyal friend, you know what I mean? That says a lot these days.
But of course, you having been in the fray, very well that the more hands on deck, the better.
So I said, well, thank you. I felt, real proud about it. So the more I got to thinking about it, though, I was like, it's awful selfish for me just to, because really for the county and, for the sheriff's office, they need to do this.
Yes.
Because this goes above and beyond budgetary requirements that they have or limitations. And the money they take in could be used for, training and everything else, equipment. So finally I stepped back and we were talking. I said, I tell you what do we just do a merger? And therefore, when we create this qualified law enforcement foundation, which will have a giving, the general donations that come in, we could use it just like we do West Georgia First Responders. And to my knowledge, we may be the only ones that are doing that.
Yeah.
Because usually just the qualified law enforcement foundations get the donations from the tax center and they use it solely for them. Normally, you know what I mean? But we're going to have like kind of a super 501c3, I guess. You know what I mean? So they could use all, have the money for them, and then all the general donations that come in, we could still do the mission of West Georgia First Responders.
Well, and I think it's, I appreciate. It's hard sometimes to not let your pride get in the way. At first it's easy to think this is something that West Georgia First Responders is a monolith. This is something that you and the support of the community and the local law enforcement and other first responder offices, had built into something incredible in and of itself. So shout out to you for not letting your pride get in the way and allowing it to organically transform, bloom into something now that can help far more people, and that's something we'll be getting into shortly.
Yeah.
But I'd love it if Sheriff Terry Langley, if you could, thank you again for joining us, Sheriff. Maybe if you could speak a bit to the situation prior to this opportunity. As far as funding for the Sheriff's Department, for folks at home, where predominantly has that historically come from? And maybe we can speak a bit to just the general needs that you have found yourself running into over the years that this new legislation, this new foundation will help assist.
Let me say from the outset, I appreciate Shane, and he mentioned pride. Well, I've seen anything but pride. A few years ago, he just said, we're not meeting the need of our first responders, and said, a lot of times we see them in a financial crisis because of sickness or injury on the job. And he went out and created first responders. And like he just mentioned, it's been a great tool and a great help to so many first responders. So I don't think he's ever been prideful that I've seen. He's always been looking to help first responders and anybody in the community, really.
Not taking a cent for himself.
Right, not taking a penny, and he's got a great board and all of that. So, but this is going to be a great thing, a foundation. We've seen where several agencies have done that locally, have created their own foundation, because I run into people all the time that want to do something for the office of the sheriff or first responders, and there's really not a vehicle in place where they can make donations, really. A lot of people have made donations, but I think if it went right down to it, they really couldn't get the tax benefit from it on it. And I have people all the time that want to give money, for equipment, for training, to help the first responders in any way, psychologically or physically, and there's just not been a vehicle. So I think this new foundation would do that. And then Shane, who's already established and helped so many people, was willing to come in with us, have a little bit of seed money to start with, and we'll raise some money too to be able to help first responders and different other things in the community too. Depends on the categories that this foundation would help, and that'll be, of course, set up by the new board whenever we completely merge and get all the paperwork ready. So I think it'll be a great thing. I see people all the time that just come and want to give something to law enforcement or public safety, but they really don't, and they don't care really. Most of them don't care if they get a tax advantage, but they should get one if they're helping the community, and so that's what this foundation would do.
Time is 8:40. We'll go ahead and knock out that first commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to get a little bit deeper into the weeds with Shane Davis and Sheriff Terry Langley as we discuss I almost called you Sherry there, the Carroll County Sheriff's Foundation. Worse. Hey, there you go. As we discuss the founding of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office Foundation and the amazing work that it can and will be doing thanks to the Less Crime Act. So stick with us. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
And we're back to the Community Voice, Wednesday, August 19th. This morning's Community Voice program is featuring Shane Davis and Sheriff Terry Langley as we discuss the formation of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office Foundation, a qualified law enforcement agency which will continue the great work post-merger with West Georgia First Responders of serving and assisting first responders throughout our community, as well as so much more. And of course, providing much needed support for the Sheriff's Office, as with other organizations that have started foundations like this. They are able to take advantage of the legislation of the Less Crime Act. And we'll be talking about that a bit more shortly. Again, this morning's episode is live streaming on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page, as well as our Graddick Communications YouTube. So if you have any questions or comments, please hop in the Facebook. If you just want to talk about how handsome these guys are, that's fine. You can do that too. Just hop in the chat. I'd be happy to read them out to them. So Shane, let's talk, man. I mean, there's we sort of set up the merger and kind of discussed how it came about, but let's talk about the what we got going on.
Well, I'd like to hit on a thing that Sheriff talked about a little while ago. Okay, a lot of times people, the way it's going to be set up, you go in. It'll have two different ways you can donate. You donate through the tax center for the law enforcement side, the Law Enforcement Foundation, and then general donations will come in, and we'll have to track them separately, okay, which will be easy, because the money that goes in under the Qualified Law Enforcement Foundation has to be used for the Sheriff's Office, okay, and then the other stuff can be used to go out as the giving arm, like in the community, okay?
Sure.
Those things that we can use that for, as far as like going through the tax center, that money, he hit on that a little while ago, and it really raised some bells for me. It can be used for mental health programs, okay, which when I was looking into it, I wouldn't say it was indicative of the other things, but I thought it kind of caught my eye, because the things that you can add to, and I'll read them off too, it's called improving agency capabilities and readiness, okay, community safety and operations, like officer training, equipment, bonuses for retaining officers, so you can do it for like maybe a signing bonus or something like that, officer retention, and then I saw mental health programs. So I'm like, well, that's pretty odd, because it kind of came out of nowhere. Not that it's not what they need to be focusing on, you think? Because that's more, you would think like a more medical thing, you know what I mean? But the sheriff's office, and the sheriff may, add a few into this, but just for me, seeing what I see, I'm a bail bondsman too, there's a lot of mental health issues.
Yeah, the trauma that officers and deputies face constantly, back to back to back, it piles up.
Well, the deputies are not just them. I mean, we're talking about the sheriff's office in general with the inmates too, okay? That's where I see it more. And then you have to have the people that deal with those inmates that are having mental health problems. That is a big problem, as far as I see in crime and the people I get out of jail. So to see that kind of stuff, and I know the county has moved forward and have some things coming up with mental health wings and stuff like that they're trying to focus on. So when I seen that, I thought, wow, that's good. That's maybe some additional stuff that they can add with that money that's given.
That's tremendous. So there's much needed support. So in addition to equipment, you can also the funds will be used to support training and support mental health interventions if something were to be going on.
Oh yeah, and I think the bonus structure, ever what that ends up being, I think that would be awesome for retention, because it seems to me, it's like anything else. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
I mean, being a police officer is tough. Okay, God bless them. And the things that I see that they just go through, and the things I hear they go through are even worse than I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So I just thank God that they stick around. So if anything that they can get as an incentive on top of, the budgetary requirements / limitations that they have, is awesome. Because what you want is people to stay to build a stable workforce. You don't want a lot of turnover, you know what I mean? And you want the retention rate. So I'm awesome to see.
Want folks to invest their lives into the community, put their kids in this school and our schools here. And on this note, a quick comment from our good pal Sarah Bearden, owner of Raised Right and Dreamscapes Landscape Service. Dreamscapes Living and Play. We love our first responders, incredible people who are the voice of comfort in times of trouble. Thank you to our first responders. Thank you, Sheriff Langley, and all our law enforcement. They have always been good to our community. Thank you so much for that comment, Sarah.
Thank you.
So we see here that there's a gauntlet of services which can be funded by the money from the Less Crime Act. Folks being able to make a donation.
Right.
That's amazing.
Also, in addition to that, seeing that we're going to be kind of, like I said, a super 501c3 in relations to the law enforcement foundations, we're going to take exactly what we did with first responders and do that also, okay? And you'll see, basically we're going to add linemen, so we have to add that in addition. So basically the first board meeting, we have to vote to add them. But we made it a point that before we switched over and did the merger, we really made a point, I checked into it to make sure that would be possible.
Excellent.
Okay? Because we didn't want to leave them out. I didn't want to merge in and do that, and then nobody, after we've been here for 3 years for the linemen, and, Carroll EMC's been so good to West Georgia First Responders, and some other EMCs, Coweta Fayette EMC, even Greystone's given some too, but I didn't want to leave them out. You know what I mean? So that was one of the last questions that we had to get answered by our attorneys. Hey, can we do that? Yes. Okay.
This stuff's complicated. People don't realize that laws in regard to 501c3s are just any nonprofit are very, very complicated.
And you have to stick to them, or you have some serious consequences.
Yeah,
I mean, you start giving.
Yeah, you mess around,
away.
The sheriff over here is going to put you in the back of the car.
Yeah, board meetings turn into an arrest warrant.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but it's important, and I think I appreciate you doing the due diligence ahead of time to make sure that the scope of services from West Georgia First Responders that folks have gotten used to is not going to be limited.
Right, and also building a board too. We wanted to make sure that we were representative. So Carroll EMC does have a representative on there. Sure. We made sure we asked them, Tim Martin to nominate somebody, and he did. It was Matt Young.
Excellent.
So he's going to be on the board.
Excellent.
And we still have about 5 people, I think, 5 board members left to fill, right, Sheriff?
I think so.
So let that be a warning to folks out in the community. Yeah. If you have a good heart and you love to support law enforcement, these folks might be calling you.
Yeah. If you love first responders, just call Sheriff Langley's cell phone. He'll answer.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. you guys have a tremendous relationship. You've gotten tons of support from Sheriff Langley as West Georgia first responders serve the local community. This is a partnership that makes a lot of sense, and I think maybe we could break down a little bit for people how they can participate and make donations, because it's not just individuals. It turns out businesses as well.
Right.
So even like corporations,
absolutely,
could make donations.
So this is the extra step that we have for this one, being a qualified law enforcement foundation. We'll have, you can make the general donations like a normal 501c3. But as far as the law enforcement donations, they call it QLEDs, I guess. This is a short term for it. You have to go to the Georgia Tax Center, get approved. And usually it takes 30 days to get approved. And then they'll send you approval letter back saying, hey, you can pay your taxes or a portion of your state taxes to this law enforcement foundation. And you usually have 60 days or by the end of the year to make that donation. And there's different parameters you can do. Individuals, jointly filing, LLCs, S-Corp, C-Corp, the big corporations like your Southwires and stuff like that. So, like for individuals, you get up to $5,000 on your state taxes. Jointly up to $10,000. S-Corps and stuff like that, LLCs up to $10,000. Then your big boys, it's like they can do up to 75% of their state income tax.
Wow,
which can be quite a bit.
And you have corporations like Home Depot or Waffle House.
Whoever, it doesn't matter. I mean,
yeah. Or Southwire or something.
Yeah.
You have organizations like that those gifts go a long way and provide immense support for our sheriff's department as well as the other first responders.
Right. Now there is a cap that we can take in off that. That's like $3 million.
Okay.
But that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That can help a lot of people.
Yeah, through the that's $3 million through the Qualified Law Enforcement Foundation. Of course, we can have unlimited general donations.
Sure, excellent. Yeah. So this is a move which empowers both the Carroll County Sheriff's Department as well as West Georgia First Responders. The legacy, the mission of West Georgia First Responders. We now have something that is able to be supported in a way that wasn't previously possible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, don't feel sorry for me in West Georgia First Responders. I mean, to me, this is an upgrade.
This is a major upgrade, getting to help so many people.
Yeah, getting to partner side by side with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office and Foundation, the sheriff himself. I mean,
It's awesome.
I mean, it's an upgrade, and it's, I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Time is 8:51. We'll go ahead and knock out that last commercial break. Again, thank you to the folks that have supported both the sheriff's office as well as West Georgia First Responders. Your kindness and generosity has brought us here to this moment, and we get to watch the new foundation, the Carroll County Sheriff's Office Foundation, serve and assist and help our community more than ever. So stick with us here. We're going to wrap up our conversation with Sheriff Terry Langley and Shane Davis right after a word from our sponsor, Tanner Health.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
And we're back to the Community Voice, Wednesday, August 19th. If you're just tuning in, there's still time to hop on the live stream on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page. You can also share a link to that. If you need a comment or anything, please feel free to leave a comment in there. But you can also share the link to the live stream, share the link to the podcast, which will be uploaded to this station's website, as well as GradicCommunications.com. You can also share a link to the Gradic Communications YouTube page. To share a link to this video, spread the good word about the Carroll County Sheriff's Office Foundation. We have Sheriff Terry Langley in the studio with us, Shane Davis. We've had a great conversation thus far, a bit about the formation of the Carroll County Sheriff's Foundation, as well as its kindness and working together with West Georgia first responders to continue to assist not just our deputies, but first responders all over the county and beyond, which is awesome. I mean, this formation allows for a lot more funds to come in thanks to the Less Crime Act, and of course, folks can make that donation contribution to a qualified law enforcement foundation, like we have here with the Sheriff's Foundation.
So, also, we're probably going to be up and running fully in about a month. Okay, we have a little bit of limitations with the merger. We have some steps we got to go through, legal-wise, they got to do, because with the transfer of one nonprofit remaining funds to another, and some bank account stuff going. So by probably mid-September, maybe even before that, we should be up and running as far as donations. Okay, and I kind of, by design, hopefully we get that, because that way we can get some tax money by the end of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what we're shooting for in the middle of all this. And like I said, I just want to reiterate again, the fact that we were able to switch over. We're going to add the linemen. The mission is going to still be there. It's going to be bigger. For me personally, like I stated a little while earlier, I see it as an upgrade.
That's
okay,
incredible.
It's a whole lot easier for me to go around the West Georgia area with Sheriff Langley by my side than it is for me to go to try to fundraise. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. I mean, these the families that you assist aren't going to wonder about your intentions
right.
at all.
So West Georgia first responders, at first, and it's gotten a little bit of traction over the last 3 years. So it's a little different than it was the first year for me going and saying, "Hey, I'm Shane Davis, West Georgia first responders. Who are you?" Whatever. But to be able to go with Sheriff or be in the organization with Sheriff Langley and the others that are going to be on board it's like more horsepower.
I mean, I agree. I mean, proof in point, Meredith Hoyle Browning commented, "Good morning to my favorite sheriff." That's the reception he typically receives. So you don't have to worry about.
If I could just get him, we walk in, just put your arm around me.
Yeah,
Sheriff.
just let everybody know.
Say, "Here you go, buddy."
Y'all gonna give me the big head now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have about 3 minutes. I'd love, Sheriff, if you could, to get some thoughts from you before we wrap up. Things are going to really kick off in about a month. Keep an ear out for, we'll have some commercials running pretty soon, letting folks know about the launch and how folks can support the Sheriff's Foundation. But any words, any thoughts you want to share with the community?
I'm just thankful. I tell you, I'm just thankful to be the sheriff of this county. I've been sheriff, this is my 26th year. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. The community has always been so supportive and done something. I've received 2 or 3 texts since we've been sitting here, and the people are just, and it's just a tribute to the men and women of the sheriff's office and the job that they do, and law enforcement in general in this county that do a good job, and we work hard to try to live up to that standard that people expect. But the people have just been so good to me personally and to the sheriff's office and to first responders in this community. So I'm so thankful that we have that, and that's what makes me want to even work harder to create these foundations and do things for our community outreach. And so it's just I just feel humbled and grateful to have been sheriff this long and continue to be for a little while longer. And I just appreciate everybody and the men and women that put their life on the line. We've lost 4 officers in the line of duty since I've been sheriff, and and as y'all have said, it's a very tough job. And it's a tough job on those on the front line, and we've had the prayers and the support of this community the entire time, and that means a lot. And people always ask me, what all can we do for them? And I said, most of all, if you just see them, tell them you appreciate them. But also now we're going to have a foundation. If people that want to give something or put something toward that, they can do that and kind of put it all together and help not only the first responders but the community as well. So I think this foundation is going to be a great thing.
One thing I'd like to say too, the way the structure of it's going to be set up is the sheriff will be the CEO. So basically, Sheriff, did you know that? No, I'm just kidding. So basically, the elected sheriff of the county will be automatic CEO of the Sheriff's Foundation.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then you got like 10 board members that'll be in there.
Well, it's quite the legacy to live behind. After 26 years partnering with Shane here, putting together the Carroll County Sheriff's Foundation and serving the community at large for many years to come. I think that's an exciting thing. Well, it looks like we're out of time here. Shane, any last words?
I'm just thankful for WLBB always supporting us too. I appreciate y'all.
We love you, man.
Credit communication.
There you go.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
And thank y'all so much again for everything you do for the community, for coming on the show today. And thank you for everyone who tuned in with us today. Keep an eye out for the website launch. We'll certainly be sharing the information, spreading the good word. Thank you all for tuning in with us. We'll see you tomorrow morning.